guys, this is Andrew Darlington with Veritas Risk Management and Insurance Services. I've done a lot of videos on certificates of insurance and additional insured status and those types of things because it is hugely important when you're a general contractor or even a subcontractor to know what's there. You're signing agreements, hopefully, between your subs and the GCs, and the language in those matters. And so the language you put in those agreements that you sign also affects the insurance. And so you need to know what you're signing, what your exposures are, because if you don't know where your exposures are, the things you've signed, you might unknowingly open yourself to a lawsuit that the insurance company is not going to pay. And that can be a horrible thing. What we're going to talk about today is additional insured status. Sometimes if you're a sub, you'll have blanket additional insured status on your policy. Or if you're a GC, you'll ask, hey, do you have blanket additional insured? I need to be named as additional insured. Sometimes they'll send you a piece of paper that has your name on it. That's actually an endorsement for the company. Sometimes it's just because they have the blanket insured status, then it's automatically thrown on, you're given that. But there's something you really need to look at, and that is, what does your contract say for that additional insured status, and what additional insured status are you getting? There's two types of additional insured status. One, there's for ongoing operations, and then there's one for products and completed operations. And that's a huge, big different thing. And so we're going to talk about it today for a second to let you understand what you need. If you're a general contractor, you need both. If you're a subcontractor, you may need both or you may not. The GC wants as much liability thrown down to the sub as possible. The sub wants to give up as much protection as possible so they don't have to protect that GC. But you don't want to sign something and only have your insurance company cover you part way. Okay, so today we're looking at this additional insured endorsement. The standard additional insured endorsement is going to be a CG 2010 additional insured endorsement. The first two digits means commercial general liability. Next four are the year 2010, and the next one is going to be the month and year that endorsement was done. So those endorsements, there's a bunch of them. Different companies are going to use different years on those depending on their filings and that type of thing. So let's get back to the main thing of it. This additional insured endorsement is going to give you coverage for ongoing operations. That's it. Okay. So if you look at the additional insured endorsement and you kind of scroll down on it, and I'm going to read it here, it says, this insurance does not apply to bodily injury or property damage occurring after, key thing, after all work, including materials, parts, or equipment furnished in connection with such work on the project, other than service, maintenance, or repairs to be performed by or on behalf of the additional insured at the location of the covered person has been completed. So that's a huge thing. We'll unpack that in a second. Or that portion of your work out of which the injury or damage arises has been put to its intended use by any person or organization other than another contractor or subcontractor engaged in the performing operations for a principal as part of the same project. So the first part is basically, if all work include materials with that work have been completed, then you're done. So pretty simple. If I'm an electrical contractor and I do work and I've completed my work, everything's wired and it all works, and I walk away, then that would hit that. Okay. So it doesn't apply to bodily injury occurring after this or the other. Okay. So the other one is that portion of your work out of which the injury damage arises that has been put to its intended use by any person or organization other than another contractor. So the bottom one is going to give a little bit broader coverage to that electrical contractor because the intended work is for that eventual homeowner or building owner to use it in their business. So while the drywall is still going up and those other things that are going in, the painting and whatever, the owner of the property is not really using it yet. It kind of has to be handed over, but it's not necessarily when the keys are handed over, because if you're a roofer, once you do the roof, it's done for everybody. It's everyone's getting the benefit of it. So that when the products and completed operations starts and the ongoing ends is going to be different depending on the contractor. So here's the big thing. If you are an electrical contractor, you're a plumbing, you're HVAC, those are the three that I can think of off the top of my head that are going to have the biggest thing. Because while I'm working and I'm wiring the building or the house or whatever I'm wiring, and someone is injured, someone's electrocuted, someone trips over some of my copper that's there, someone does whatever and is injured that I cause, and they sue the GC, and I have this, my policy is going to defend and protect the general contractor because of me getting them sued. Okay, and that's what that general contractor probably had you sign. And if you're a GC, good job. You're protected because you didn't do anything wrong. It's your electrician that did something wrong. It was me. And so we're going to defend and hold you. We're going to defend you in this situation with this additional insured status. So we're going to have an attorney, and we're going to pay judgments to get you up to the limits of my insurance. And it's actually generally going to come primary non-contributor. So it's going to be primary before, and this endorsement is, before it even defends me. It's going to be primary to any other insurance. Now, the problem you get is I've left the job. Key's been handed over, and it's a month later. And now the building burns down, and 3 people were in it and die. Okay, what happens? I've got general liability coverage. My GL policy is going to cover the lawsuit that comes against me because of that. The GC is going to get sued too because his hands were all in it. Okay, this policy does not give that because it's been put to its intended use, and by any person or organization other than the contractor, so it's by the owner, okay, and the operations have been completed there. I walked away, I've gotten paid. So if you're the GC, you get sued, your policy has to defend you in that situation. But even bigger is if I'm the sub and I signed an agreement to give additional insured status to them, if it didn't limit it to ongoing operations, I might be on the hook personally for that because I didn't get the correct additional insured endorsements on there. They may have accepted the certificate, but it's not what I needed to get done. So you want to be specific on those things, or if not, give more so that your insurance company has to protect you in those situations. So the takeaway from this is that you need to make sure that you know what additional insured endorsement that you need to give to your GC if you're the sub. And if you're a GC, you need to make sure that you're getting the ongoing operations plus the progress and completed operations, so that way you can push as much liability on those subs and protect your assets while using their insurance and their assets to come in front of you and stop that train from hitting you head on. We'd love to have a conversation with you about this. You can call us at 423-292-4142, email us at help@veritasrim.com, or you can chat with us through about anything, our website, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want to. Happy to have a conversation with you on that. Until next time, God bless, and we'll talk to you later.